Hello everybody, MDpolo at Range USA. Kind of busy, kind of noisy. So today we got the M&P Shield. And this is the Shield Plus. Hard to believe, but I've never featured an M&P Shield in the channel before. That's what we're shooting. That's 115. 8-yard out. First shots, let me turn it around. First time I shoot this in a long time. There you go. Not my best shooting, but there it is. Now let's take it to the tabletop. Okay, we're back from the range. Just off the bat, I wanted to let you know that I'm a bit under the weather, so my voice is going to sound a bit weird, more than normal. So the people that always comment on how I speak weird can now rejoice, and I'm giving you a lot of runway on that. But other than that, I'm just under the weather, and but I wanted to put this video out because I don't know how much longer I'm going to have this gun with me. And at the end of this video, I will let you know why it's not for me. So just let you walk around with it. Also, I wanted to share with you that there's nothing wrong with this gun. It is very high quality. It is slim. It is very easy to carry. But we'll go over why it's not for me. Just a bit of history on this and stats. It's of course a striker fired pistol. 9mm, although the Shield Plus is also available in .30 Super Carry. The original Shield was available in 9mm, in .40 I believe, .45 ACP, .357 SIG, and the 2.0 also in .30 Super Carry. And so they got a lot of flexibility and availability of calibers with the Shield family of pistols. This one, of course, chambered in 9mm. The barrel is 3.1 inches. It comes with 2 steel mags. And this is one of the differences between the Shield Plus and both the original Shield and the 2.0 is now you've got 10+1 capacity with a flush fit mag, or 13+1 capacity with the extended mag with extended base plate. Also, in comparison with the original and the 2.0, now you don't have the raw steel, the shiny steel mags. Now you got this black finish. And the mags are made by McGuard, and it's just very high quality with the orange followers, and very comfortable. By the way, the gun has been safety checked before the video. And that's the way it looks with a flush fit mag. I've got medium-sized hands. It's about 3.5 inches from top to bottom, and that's how it fits with the flush fit mag. And so it's not uncomfortable at all. Reach across you here and put the extended mag, and now you really have a full 3-finger contact on the grip. So overall, for the size of it, like I said, it's only 1.1 inches wide at the widest point, including the controls. And if you don't include the controls, it's about just under an inch. This one doesn't have the thumb safety, although it is available with a thumb safety if that's what you want. It weighs just 20.2 ounces. So actually, even though you're getting more capacity with the mags, it's a little bit lighter than the original Shield. This, like I mentioned, is optics ready and with night sights from the factory. And that makes it an MSRP of $549. But for retail, at least locally, I found it for $480. I started looking around and I noticed that I hadn't done a video on the Shield, and Gosh, the last one I did was on the Shield 45, 45 ACP, and on the Shield Super Carry, but I hadn't done one on the Shield 9mm, which, by the way, the original Shield in 9mm was my first carry gun. And we'll get into the why I don't carry it anymore and why this is not for me towards the end of the video. The original Shield was introduced in 2005, and it was not only something that was very carryable, very slim, easy to carry, like I said, but it had 7 or 8 round capacity. And that was carried as well into the Shield 2.0, which was introduced in 2017. And the Shield Plus that you see here was introduced in 2021, and now bumping it up with 10 or 13 round capacity in the stack and a half mags. So Smith & Wesson puts out a great product, quality product, very, very reliable. So when I tell you that it's not for me, it's just that it doesn't work for me. I'm not saying that it's a bad gun or that if you love it, a lot of people love the Shield Plus or the Shields, period. So don't feel like I've said before, like I'm throwing a tomato at the Pope. It's just not for me. Getting a little bit into the details, the slide is of course stainless steel and is coated with Armonite. It's a very Smith & Wesson proprietary coating, and it's very durable. It looks nice. It's got the very minimal slide serrations in the front. Those, some people call them fish scale serrations in the front and the rear. The ones in the rear, they do a really good job. The ones in the front are just adequate for what they do. Optics ready. And it's got the Shield RMSC footprint. I've got an optics for it, but I don't think I'm going to use it. But I just wanted to show you that it is optics ready with Smith & Wesson steel night sights. The frame, of course, is a polymer frame, and it retains the aggressive stippling from the original, from the 2.0, although it's a little bit more toned down. It's not as aggressive, at least in my opinion, to the 2.0. And I would just wish they had carried it over to the top. All right. One nice thing that I think was very, very good is you see here the mag release. It has the same texture as it does on the grip. So there's no way you're slipping on this off this thing. I don't know what's going on with the focus. So very nice. It's very easy to reach. Even with my medium-sized hands, I can easily reach it. You know, it kind of hits the bottom of my hand, but I can reach it without any problems. Now, as far as, there's one of the differences here, as far as the grip is concerned, you see how thin it is? It's very, very thin, but the Shield Plus gives you a little bit more as far as girth than the 2.0. Not much. It's kind of hard to tell actually, but they do give you a little bit more girth on the grip to accommodate the 13 round mag. But as you can see here, you can see how it's wider and then it tapers in and then it opens up a little bit up here towards the tang. Now to field strip it, and we're not going to do that on camera, but I wanted to show you that you got two things you can do. Well, of course, you move this lever, and then you can either, it's probably not going to show on camera. There you go. You see that tab in there? It's not coming into focus, but that tab right there, you push it down, and then you don't have to you don't have to pull the trigger to remove the slide. And then once you're done, you put the mag back in and it pushes that tab up automatically. All you have to do is put the slide lever back in its position, and you're ready to go. So very easy to pull apart for maintenance and for cleaning. And another nice thing about the Smith & Wesson shields is the grip angle. So it is an 18-degree grip angle. It's very similar to a 1911, and it points very natural. It's really easy to get high up on it, and it points very naturally. The trigger on this, as you can see, has been modified from the 2.0 line, and you no longer have the curved hinge trigger that is famous on the Smith & Wessons. But now it's been replaced with this more of a flat-ish trigger with a safety dingus in the middle, and it disappears flat into the trigger shoe as you pull. So some people love this. They consider it an upgrade. Some people think that the curved original hinge trigger is better. That's all personal preference. And this trigger on my trigger gauge has been breaking consistently at the 4 pounds, 4.1 pound mark on a 5-pull average. So very, very good trigger, capable trigger, I should say, for self-defense. Now, this is going to be one of the things I don't like about it, is although it does not, and let me emphasize on that, it does not affect your experience at the range. Once you're out there shooting, you don't feel it. But I like to dry fire. I like to play with my guns at home when I'm just looking at them, holding them, feeling the trigger, maybe dry firing for practice, loosening them up a little bit. And the trigger, do you hear that? Just wanted to get it closer to the microphone. It just feels cheap. And I'm not trying to be a trigger snob. Some people are going to say, hey, it's perfectly capable for, self-defense. Yes, it is. But when you're just here, it just feels cheap. And I have here my trusty little Glock 42. You don't hear that. And this is just a little 380. So now going back to the shield, and you feel it gets stuck, and then you go. Now you're at the wall. You have to really press. It's a wall, and it's a nice crisp break. And then the reset, you think it's there because you actually hear a little click, but it's not. There's the click. Then you're instantly at the wall, and a clear, nice break. There's no travel after you hit that wall. So again, there's one click, there's the reset, and then it breaks. And it's a wall. You have to make an effort to press through it. So, like I said, it did not affect the shooting at the range, and for self-defense situations or for out there at the range, it's not an issue. Just something I noticed at dry fire. All right. So what was the shooting experience with the M&P Shield Plus? That's where I start to have issues with this gun, is because in my hands, and again, this is just me. If it's your favorite gun, God bless you. Okay. And I'm not very accurate with this gun. I never have been, even when I had my original shield, and that's why I sold it. It's point of aim, no question. It's not a 6 o'clock hold or a little bit under, above 6 o'clock. It's point of aim. Wherever you put your orange sight in this case, that's where it's going to hit, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Actually, I prefer it that way. But I'm just not very accurate with this gun. Can I hit center mass? Yes, I can, but I expect a little bit more of my carry gun. Also, it feels very awkward in my hand. It does. It's just, this one feels a little bit better, but it's the shape of the grip that feels very awkward in my hand. It almost feels like I have a deck of cards, like I'm holding a deck of cards that thin like that with something bigger sitting on top. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but comparing it to my daily carry, which is my Glock 48, which by the way, it is unloaded. Here we got with a Shield Arms mag, I've got 15 plus 1. This got 13 plus 1, so just not too much of a difference. But if I line them up as best as I can, they're almost identical. Almost identical in length. They're a little bit, the Glock is a little bit, I'm running out of space here in the camera, under the camera, but if I go like this, the Glock 48 is a little bit longer, but that's not the hard part to conceal, right? But if I'm doing this, they're almost identical in length with 15 plus 1. And for me, the grip of the Glock 48 is much, much more comfortable. It fits my hand perfectly. And the Shield never has. That's one of my big sticking points here. I shoot my Glock 48 much better than I do the Shield. I even shoot my little Glock 42 better than I shoot my Shield. So that's one of the main things. It's not comfortable for me in the hand. I don't shoot it as well as other handguns. Now, if you want to carry it, this is the holster. I don't even know who makes it, but this is the original holster that I had for the first Shield that I purchased. I still had it. So that's another good thing that Smith & Wesson did, that they upgraded the Shield Plus. They gave it more capacity, a better trigger than the original, some people say, but it still fits very nicely in the original Shield holster. So that's huge. You don't have to go and figure out what kind of holster you're going to use. Or if I also have soft DeSantis holster, and that is, I had it for the SIG P365. That's the number, that's the E1, Echo 1, and it fits the Shield perfectly. So if you want something soft for inside the waistband, or if you want to pocket carry it, whatever your thing is, it fits very well in original Shield holsters or in a soft holster like this. So whatever your desire is, there's holster availability without any problems at all. The other thing, and this is again something that can be fixed, but as it sits right now, whenever I use the sights, whenever I'm acquiring my sight picture, even though it's got the orange front and it's got the tritium in the back, like as you see here, it's whenever I'm using, because as you saw in the shooting video, my targets are black and they become fluorescent when you shoot them. When I have the darker target in the back with the sight picture, I have a hard time aligning my sights correctly because everything is black. You know, the top of the sight, the top of the front sight, there's not a lot of space between the rear sight and the front sight to gauge the equal light on both sides. It's just my eyes. Yours might be perfect, but I have a problem acquiring a good sight picture with this gun. Now, you can remedy it very easily, replacing the sights, or by simply installing a red dot and just go by the red dot. I haven't done so, but again, it's something that is easy to fix. I'm just looking at the gun as it sits from the factory. Another thing that it might loosen up, it might not, the slide release. And I normally don't like to drop the slide on an empty chamber, but the slide release, even though it's got nice texture on it on top, it works, but you really have to put a lot of pressure into that. I like to use my slide release. This one is very hard to use. Maybe it'll loosen up a bit. I don't know, but it is almost impossible to use. Another thing that might loosen up as time goes by is the mags. The springs are so tight that this one being the 13 rounds, I couldn't put the 13th round in without a mag loader. And that is the same for the 10 round. The last round on both, I needed a mag loader to help. Enter the comments, go to the gym. So that's where I'm at with this. I'm equally comfortable carrying my Glock 48. You've seen this one before. It's got the Apex trigger, the porting by ZR Tactical, the night sights. It's not the MOS, but it was cut for an optic, and we made sure that the MOS plate fit. And I'm very comfortable with this. It's almost the same size. I got 15 rounds as far as the grip goes, lengthwise. I got 15 rounds, and this is not the hard part to conceal. So for me, there's no reason to switch from my Glock 48 to the Shield Plus. Although it's very thin to carry, and that's a plus. So that's where I'm at with this. I've gone longer than I wanted to. Let me know what you think about the Shield Plus. Do you carry it, and what are your thoughts on it? And with all the options available right now in the market, is this something that you think should earn your business? Your dollars should go here. So I look very much forward to your comments. Please remember that I upload videos every Friday morning, and when I can on Wednesday mornings as well. I am posting more on Twitter, X now, and I'm pretty tired of Instagram and their censorship and all the garbage that goes on over there. So please give me a follow. We're on our way to 20,000 subscribers. If you like what I do, that's the best way you can help me. Once again, thank you very much for stopping by. And until the next time, God bless.